Hello everyone. Today we will see the parameter estimation. In this parameter estimation, we will see point and confidence level. These are our lecture objectives. So what is parameter estimation? Distinguish between a point estimate and a confidence interval estimate. Construct and interpret a confidence interval estimate for a single population mean using both the Z and T distributions. Form and interpret a confidence interval estimate for a single population proportion. Create confidence interval estimates for the variance of a normal population. So what is parameter estimation? So the term parameter estimation refers to the process of using sample data to estimate parameters of the selected distribution. Several parameter estimation methods are available. An estimator of population parameter is a random variable that depends on sample information whose value provides an approximation to this unknown parameter. The specific value of that random variable is called as an estimate. So point and interval estimate. So point estimate is a single number. A confidence interval provides additional information about variability. So let us understand what is point estimate and confidence interval. So you have seen that X bar is the best point estimate of the true value of mu. So the meaning of this is you have a population and you do not know the value of mu. That is the true value of mu you do not know. So you take out some random sample and you measure this X bar. And then you claim that this mu is equals to this X bar. That is, the value of population mean is somewhat nearer to the value of sample mean. So you have already seen that. So some error is associated with this estimate. However, the true population mean may be larger or smaller than the sample mean. That is, your X bar may be greater than your population mean, or X bar may be less than or equal to your population mean, right? Instead of point estimate, you might want to identify a range of possible values. P might take controlling the probability that mu is not lower than the lowest possible value and not higher than the highest value. Such a range is called as confidence interval. So you can see that if this is the point estimate, that is X bar is equals to mu, then this is your upper confidence level, that is maybe X bar plus Z times sigma by under root n, and this is your lower confidence level, which is represented by X bar minus Z times sigma by root n, right? So in this way, you will have a range of values in which your estimate will vary. So let us take an example. Now suppose that you want to find out average weight of all players on the cricket team at your college. You are able to select 10 players at random and weigh them. The mean weight of the sample of players is 198. So this 198 is your point estimate, right? Assume that the population standard deviation sigma is 11.50. What is a 90% confidence interval for the population weight if you presume the players' weight are normally distributed? So you know that the value of X bar is 198, which is nothing but the point estimate of mu. Then upper confidence level and lower confidence level can be calculated using this formula. So this is the basic difference between the point estimate and interval estimate. So in interval estimate, you are basically calculating the values of upper confidence level as well as lower confidence level. Now confidence interval estimation for mu, that is population mean, when sigma square is known, that is population standard deviation or variance of population is known. So you have the formula upper confidence level, that is equals to x bar plus z times sigma by root n. Similarly, lower confidence limit, that is x bar minus z times sigma by root n. So we have these varieties in confidence interval estimation, that is we are currently dealing with when sigma square is known. You are estimating population mean, right? For mu you are doing it when sigma square is known. So let us take a practice problem. A sample of 11 circuits from a large normal population has a mean resistance of 2.20 ohm. We know from past testing that population standard deviation is 0.35 ohms. Determine a 95% confidence interval for the true mean resistance of the population. So what is given? That is your sample size is 11 circuits. So n equal to 11. X bar is 2.20. Sigma is 0.35 and confidence level is 95. That is your alpha is significance level is 0.05. The value of Z for alpha for confidence interval of 95%, you have 1.96. So we have the table of Z values. If the confidence level is 80, then you have to take Z value as 1.28. In this case, we have the confidence level of 95% and hence the Z value is 1.96. So this is 1.96, this is 1 minus 1.96, right? And this is alpha by 2. So let us calculate the upper confidence limit using the formula. So 2.2 plus 1.96 times 0.35 under root 11. So that comes out to be 2.4068. Similarly, we have calculated lower confidence limit, which equals 1.9932. So you can say that in the conclusion that you are 95% confident that your population mean will be between 2.4068 and 1.9932. The second case, that is confidence interval estimation for mu when sigma square is unknown. That is, we are dealing with this case. So if population standard deviation is unknown, we can substitute the sample standard deviation S. So this may introduce extra uncertainty since S varies from sample to sample. Means from the population of say 10,000, if you draw sample 1, so the value of S1, and similarly you draw sample 2, so the value of S1 and S2 there will be some difference also, right? So we use the tree distribution instead of normal distribution. So upper confidence limit for T distribution is equals to x bar plus T times S by root n. Now in earlier case it was sigma, in this case it is S, that is sample standard deviation. Lower confidence limit is equals to x bar minus T times S upon root n. So let us take an example of this case. As a random sample of n equal to 25 has x bar of 50 and sample standard deviation of 8. Form a 95% confidence interval for population mean, that is mu. So the degree of freedom in this case is n minus 1 is the formula for calculating degree of freedom in T distribution, that is equals to 24. The value of degree of freedom comma alpha by 2, that is equals to 2.0639. So the upper confidence limit is 53.302. Similarly, the lower confidence limit is 46.698. So from this, we can conclude that, or you are 95% confident that your mu will vary between 53.302 and 46.698. The third case is confidence interval estimation for population proportion. An interval estimate for population proportion P can be calculated by adding an allowance for uncertainty to the sample proportion. Recall that distribution of sample proportion is approximately normal if the sample size is large, with standard deviation of population is equals to sigma p is equals to under root p into 1 minus p by n. So we will estimate this proportion with the sample data, that is S of p is equals to p into 1 minus p by n. So let us take an example of this case. A random sample of 100 people shows that 25 are left-handed. Form a 95% confidence interval for the two proportion of left-handers. So for calculating upper confidence limit is equals to p bar plus z of alpha by 2 under root p bar into 1 minus p bar by n. So substituting the values, since it is 95%, the value of z is 1.96 and the proportion is given, that is p is equals to nothing but 25 by 100. That is your sample proportion. So the upper confidence limit comes out to be 0.3349. Similarly, you have calculated the lower confidence level, that is 0.1651. So in the conclusion, you can say that on 95% of the time, the true proportion of left-handers will be in between 0.1651 and 0.3349. The last case is confidence interval estimation for population variance. So form a confidence interval for population variance sigma square. A confidence interval is based on sample variance S square. So it is assumed that the population is normally distributed. The random variable follows chi-square distribution with n-1 degrees of freedom. So the formula is n-1 S square divided by sigma square. Let us take this with the help of an example. So you are testing the speed of a batch of computer processors. You collect the following data. So sample size n is 17. Sample mean x bar is 3004 and sample standard deviation s is 74. Assume the population is normal. Determine the 95% confidence interval for variance of x. So for that, you will require chi-square n-1 alpha by 2 value, which comes out to be 2.85 from the table, chi-square distribution table, and chi-square n-1 1 minus alpha by 2 value, which comes out to be 6.91. So we have represented these values over here. So a 95% confidence interval is n minus s square divided by chi-square value of n-1 alpha by 2 less than variance less than n minus s square divided by chi-square n-1 comma 1 minus alpha by 2. So substituting the values in this, we will get your sigma, that is variance will vary from 3037 to 12683. Taking square root on the both sides, you will have the standard deviation of population. So that is nothing but 55.10 and 112.6. So means in the conclusion, you can say that we are 95% confident that the population standard deviation of CPU speed is between 55.10 and 112.6 megahertz. So I hope you have understood the parameter estimation of point estimate as well as confidence interval estimate. If you are having any queries, you can comment below. Thank you for watching. And if you are having any requests, and then you can send an email to untwistedlearning@gmail.com. So if you are liking these videos, you can like, subscribe and share. Have a good day and happy learning.